Hello, my name is Terry. This video will cover our ghost hunt out at the Ray County Museum. We actually stopped off at the museum on the night before the investigation to drop off some equipment to leave it running unattended. While I was waiting on the front porch for the museum to open for the morning, I could hear people moving around inside the building. So I knew that I wouldn't have long to wait for the building to open up for the regular hours on a Saturday. Well, no one came to the door, and the time kept on going by, and after about 20 minutes, I decided to contact someone by phone to see if there was a problem opening up at the regular scheduled hours. I found out that the curator had gone out for breakfast that morning and wasn't present, and that nobody was inside the building. Yet I could clearly discern someone was moving around inside the building. Eventually, a mutual friend showed up with her friend and with the key to the building, so she unlocked it so we could go inside to retrieve our equipment. When we did this, we also noticed that there were sounds of someone inside the building, that we couldn't find anyone in the building who could account for this. It was unoccupied. There was no one inside the building, and yet we'd heard the distinct sounds of someone moving around inside the building. The first piece of evidence I'd want you to review is an audio recording taken from the voice recorder I'd left inside the Indian Artifacts room. It was left in voice activation mode, and it recorded two sounds throughout the night. The first was the sound of a car going by with a very bad muffler. Normally cars going by out front wouldn't be loud enough to activate the voice activation mode. The other thing it recorded was the sound of a loud crashing sound coming from within inside the Indian Artifacts room. This I'll play on this next clip, and the video was supplied from a second video feed that I just added the audio only feed to. But what's interesting is that when we looked over the room, nothing had fallen over, been damaged, or in any way could account for what this loud crashing sound was triggered by. The next group of clips was recorded on the second floor down at the main end of the hallway. This is an area where we'd previously had a lot of success recording disembodied voices. But during this investigation, what we received mostly were a series of knocking sounds of something pounding on the wood on either the floor or the walls. There's also a few noteworthy EVPs in this series of clips.
Can you get close to the metal antenna my mom's holding? Make that device go off? You just gotta walk by. Can you make the air conditioning go off? The temperature, yeah. Well,
Were you shifting your weight a couple minutes ago? I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is, the gentleman standing.
Oh,
Were you shifting your weight a couple seconds ago?
not really. That was pretty still.
What happened?
Okay, no,
What'd you feel?
I thought I heard just a very gentle.
I heard it.
About, it almost sounded like somebody was shifting their weight. So
Well, did you hear a knocking on wood sound about a minute ago?
Okay, was it right after the air conditioning went on?
no, it was before it.
I heard something that sounded like somebody thumping a microphone.
And
I-
it sounded like it was coming from.
It
over
sounded
here.
like, maybe I'll try and replicate it here.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
Okay, did anyone do that or produce that sound?
No. I looked at you.
Because I heard it, and my camera will definitely have it.
I might have heard it too, but I think I just thought it was somebody hollering.
That
why
was what
asked.
I thought.
On the wall. On my shirt.
Cold spots are very common at haunted locations, but what I experienced at the end of the hallway was an intense heat like a magnifying glass aimed at the back of my neck. It was very localized. The air in the room was very cold, and my arms were actually quite chilly. The air was circulating quite strongly around me, but the interesting thing is the air was not circulating around my neck the way it was the rest of my body. A person who had a meter that measures temperatures had it aimed behind me and measured a temperature of 84 degrees. This should not be occurring. The back of my neck, where my shoulders are, it's getting hot.
Uh-oh.
Feet's not usually one of the.
Well, unless you're getting scratched.
Oh.
Yeah, someone's cold, it's gonna be hot somewhere else.
Unless you want. I'm getting cold chills, but it might.
It's funny, my arms are getting cold, but
Uh-huh.
the back of my neck, it's burning.
I had heat
Terry,
around
when you said that, the temperature jumped behind you up to 83 in the hand.
Yeah, it's like someone's putting a magnifying glass on the back of my neck where it meets the shoulders. But yet my arms are cold.
And my arms are freezing. And the temp's gone to 68.
Might be the AC, because I'm
It
kind of
might
chilly
be,
to the right
yeah.
also. But I don't
It's going away.
Mine's from the AC.
77.1 now, Terry. 84.
You said 84?
Yeah, right behind Terry,
84?
right by his neck.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because you said, what, 77 just a minute ago?
He dropped to 77, now it's back to
Wow.
Because
Because
it's
it's
the
only,
little furnace there.
84.3.
yeah, it's not, the highest over here it's been is like 71, 72.
You're still feeling it?
It's still there, but it's not as overwhelming. I mean, it was
Okay.
getting to the point to where it was getting painful. I've got a question for you. Were you choked to death or were you hung?
Wow.
No, I gotta give her this
But I hit a button wrong. I don't know, somebody else can see, but I was drawn to that spot, and that's why I sat there in the first place.
This one you think was a male.
Yeah,
The one that's down here who talks is a female.
And I can't say that for sure, but it seemed like a tall presence next to me. Does that make sense? Maybe a tall woman, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
But
yeah,
not
but the
that
thing is,
big.
there's multiple things down here.
Yeah,
There's,
but it was only the right side of my head, and it just felt like there was just a hand sitting on it.
Wow.
was it cold or warm?
Colder.
It was cold?
Yeah. And tingly. But just on my right side. My left side was fine. That's why I felt that it was over here.
Did you get any sort of pressure, like a headache of any kind?
My heart was racing hardcore. But then it slowed down completely now.
Did someone just knock on the floor?
I thought I heard something too.
Nobody did that?
No, we're still.
Okay, something's knocking on the floors here because it was doing that before with the first group. It was knocking on the floors and it was producing that sound, that tapping.
Can you tap again on the floor, please? Somebody do that? Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Did somebody do that?
Do you know where it came from?
Right
Let's
here.
take a-
It was
Right in
there.
front of,
Yeah,
I thought it was like
here.
right in front of
Oh,
Aaron.
it was like right here to the right of me.
Well, thank you for doing that.
I brought 2 trigger objects tonight. Do you know what's inside those 2 boxes? Did someone just knock?
I felt a knock underneath my.
Did you just hear a whooshing sound? I heard like the sound of like wind whooshing, you know, like,
Like right
Like
through
a-
you, back by you.
yeah. While I was experiencing this warm spot, one person who's a sensitive picked up on the name Garrison. This didn't mean anything to any of us at the time, but we later found out through the curator that a local tragedy had occurred where 2 children in their home were burned to death when their father, who apparently is being implicated in a arson scandal, is responsible for their deaths.
Oh, when Terry said something about burning in fire, I got the name Garrison. I don't know what that.
Okay. Is your name
Garrison?
Garrison? Can you knock on the floor if your name is
Yeah, I just
Garrison?
heard a sound
I
from in
just
this
got
room.
The
Okay.
boys, the little boys.
Thank you for that.
Garrison.
Garrison? Was that why you were making the back of my neck so hot? Did you have an accident with a fire? Scratching attacks are very common at haunted locations. What was unusual is that the one person who was experiencing them, I was present during 2 of the attacks. I took a photograph of one of his attacks and I used the video camera on the other. What I didn't realize until later is that he had suffered additional attacks that I had not known about. When he experienced his first attack, we moved to another part of the museum thinking that it would give up the chase. But it pursued him apparently to the other end of the building, and then after scratching him on the hip initially, it scratched him across the back. This is very unusual that someone will be pursued and then receive additional scratching attacks.
Did you hear a tap in there?
I'm not sure,
I thought I did.
because I heard the creaking down at the other end of
Yeah,
the
it sounded
floor
like
at
it
the
come
same
from
time.
in here.
Yeah.
Terry's down here.
Hey, when I was in the Civil War room,
Mhm.
they kept turning my light off.
They what?
They kept turning this light off.
Cool. That's cool.
Just so you know. I moved my radio to the Indian room,
Uh-huh.
and it's talk. Just so you know.
Have you made out any of what it was saying?
No, well, sometimes, but
Because that's the one room that has me the most puzzled, because I have no idea what that is.
yeah, I asked about
The
what's
Civil
in
War
there.
room?
Know what's in the Indian artifact room.
Yeah, I asked about that, but I didn't understand what it's saying.
Because it wouldn't identify itself.
When I was in there, it looks like something's walking back and forth through the lights.
Oh, that's good, because the cameras are rolling in
Yeah,
there.
that's why I left. And I keep out here. It looks like somebody's.
No. Ken, you go in there and you challenge it to slap you.
I got scratched more. I got scratched on my hand.
Wait a minute, you mean a third time?
No, more than that. I don't know how many times I've been scratched.
It's gone. No, it is not gone. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
But where?
It's this one.
After After hearing about the activity at the other end of the museum, located where the Indian Artifacts Room and the Civil War Room are located, we decided to go down to that end of the museum and start conducting several tests. We set up a PSB-7 ghost box. What this device does is it sweeps at ultra-high speeds through radio frequencies. A single word spoken would be chopped up into 50 segments, so it would be just a slur of meaningless gibberish. Occasionally you can get this to say meaningless words, but what's of much greater importance is that entities have the ability to speak through these devices, and they can speak coherent sentences, answer your replies, and make comments and observations. The first batch of clips produced by the PSB-7 Ghost Box are mostly angry voices, swearing, and also expressing a distrust for the living. It was almost like the first batch of people to communicate through this device were all hostile.
All the hair on my arms just stood straight up.
Did you do that?
Did you come here with an item, or did you live in this house? What did it say?
WTF.
Really?
That's what I heard. That's what you heard?
But it
Damn. It?
There's somebody in here. We'd like to talk to you. What's your last name, David?
for people.
It said holy crap, and then it said
holy heck or something like that.
no, it said holy crap, and then it said something that probably shouldn't be saying. What's interesting is that this angry group of ghosts gives way to a much more communicative group that is very successfully speaking through this device.
Can you name someone that's in this room right now?
That's me. It just said my name.
Yep. Well,
That's where we give one of these.
What did it say?
It's Danny.
Yep.
Well, I heard Annie, but I couldn't, like, I heard
That's
that
my
you did.
name, Danny.
Thank you. This is Danny. Thank you for noticing. What is Danny holding in his hand?
Greg. It said Greg the same
Yep,
time
it
did
did.
Greg here.
I have like goosebumps, like there's no,
That is so
not so random.
Not so random.
freaking random on both counts.
That's right. But who's Greg? Is Greg someone?
Greg's the main guy.
He's the president of the PTF.
Awesome. Thank you
Tim?
for knowing. Now, is there a Tim?
I then conducted 2 box tests where I was the only one who knew the contents of the boxes. I had the one box put up on the table and the other one was still in my bag and I hadn't gotten it out yet. When I asked it what was inside the box, it correctly named the one box that I had not yet pulled out of my bag, and it said money. This was the box that I had, and inside I had 2 small gold coins. Gold coins are the common money of old times, and I figured that they'd be much more receptive to this and identifying it as money as opposed to putting a dollar bill inside a box.
Can you tell me what the contents of the box is?
Oh. Well, that's one of the 2 boxes.
Money?
I have 2 gold coins.
Thank you for that, for answering those.
That's half of it. You got half of it. There are 2 boxes. The one box has 2 gold coins in it.
Okay.
Can you tell me what's in this box?
About the box.
Yes, this box here. Can you tell me what the contents of the box is?
Money? You got some money?
What is your money?
Oh. Well,
money?
that's one of the 2 boxes.
Money?
I have 2 gold coins.
Thank you for that, for answering those.
That's half of it. You got half of it. There are 2 boxes. The one box has 2 gold coins in it.
Okay.
Can you tell me what's in this box? On this computer screen here, can you tell me what's inside the box? There's just a couple names of what would be accurate for what's inside this box.
Battery?
No, it's not a battery, but you're half right. Initially, there was a battery. That is a special kind of a battery box. So you read the outside of the label correctly.
That's funny.
What are the odds? Smart Tree. It's a battery for a GoPro camera, third party. You got it half right. Read the outside of the box. That is a battery box. But what's inside is not a battery. To tell me what was inside the box now. This proved to be much more difficult, and a much longer period of time elapsed until eventually it came up with the word jewelry, and this is correct. Several people also told me while the cameras weren't running that they heard it say while the box was sitting on the display case, the name necklace was spoken several times, and this also would be correct. For the Indian Artifacts room, what I'd done, as I've chosen for this box, a turquoise necklace. I'd attempted to get it to say the word turquoise, but I was unsuccessful in doing that. But it did say the word jewelry that I can document. And from the other people's accounts, it did also say the word necklace. So these are all technically correct. Are you the old man who used to live in this room?
You are doing a magnificent job communicating.
Minachi? I don't even know what that is.
David, did you have a family? If so, how many?
our huge family.
One.
Thank you, David. Whose family are you part of?
And
Lisa? Fame.
The next session is one of the most fascinating things I think I've ever recorded. The group of women who's conducting a session with the ghost box are going to be leaving the room and taking a break. When they make this announcement, all sorts of voices come through commenting on their decision to leave and take a break. There's one reply that is even in French, which I've done a translation for. The others are fascinating in that they are commenting on their departure, asking some of them not to go and to come back. And after they've left, they're also commenting, "Are you there?" As if they are trying to confirm that they've left the area, that they're asking, that they can't visually see whether or not they're in the room at that particular time.
All right, David and friends, we're going to mosey. We're going to give you a break. So thank you for sharing, and try not to break many bones. Leg, elbow. Okay, honey. Take care. God bless you. Good night.
I they said they're evacuating.
Do you believe in Jesus Christ?
I've increased the sleep rate on it a little bit too, so you think less.
Yeah.